everyone, this is Rabbit's Blog Animation Bliss, and welcome to another anime discussion series. So today's anime discussions will be on my thoughts on the new Animaniacs Reboot. And before I get into this, here are a few words from the channel. Hey guys, if you want to check out more content from this channel, then tune in every Sunday and Monday for new videos. And if you happen to see any videos posted up during the week, that must mean there was a bit of anime news that we wanted to talk about. So those would be considered special videos. And if you want to chat with us on social media or see when new videos are being released, then follow us through Twitter and Facebook. And also, please feel free to join our new Facebook group, Chat with Animation Bliss, where we talk about animation with other animation fans. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. So the Animaniacs Reboot is basically a reboot of Animaniacs. And it basically features Yakko, Wakko, and Dot coming back to 2020 and doing the same shenanigans they did in the 1990s, except with a bit of an updated twist to it. So what are my thoughts about this reboot so far? Well, I have to be honest with you guys. When I first heard about the reboot, I actually wasn't that excited about it because, one, Animaniacs was one of my all-time favorite shows growing up, and I was thinking to myself, how would this reboot compare to the original series, or can it ever live up to the original series? And two, I tend to have a love-hate relationship with reboots in general. Like, sometimes I do like some reboots, but other times I don't care much for reboots because they tend to miss the point of the original series completely. So I was a bit worried with this reboot and if it was going to measure up to the original Animaniacs. So I decided to sit down and watch the reboot myself. And I have to tell you guys, I am so glad that I actually sat down and watched this reboot. I mean, this reboot was actually pretty good. I think it did the original series justice, and I think it actually understood what the original series was all about. Like I mentioned before, the original series had a lot of meta humor, and it was like one of the most well-written shows of the 1990s, so when the reboot came out, it actually had that same brand of humor and wit that the original series had. Like, you have the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister actually making fun of what's going on in the 2020s. Like, they tend to make fun of the fact that there's this notion about reboots being made because people want money. And I actually agree with that joke. That seems to be a sentiment with reboots nowadays. Again, some reboots are done well, but other times they're not done that well. You could tell when the reboot's being made just to show money off of that original franchise. But anyway, I also like how they talk about technology and how it's affecting a lot of people. Like, I love how in the first episode, Yakko swallows the iPad and he automatically knows what's going on in the last 20 years or so because of that iPad. And it kind of parallels with what's going on with the internet, how a lot of people know what's going on around the world because of the internet. And I like how the first episode referenced that. And I like the humor in this show. Like, it's the same type of humor we saw in the original series. As I mentioned before, the original series has meta humor. And I like how this series still makes fun of what's currently going on and still being entertaining about it. It also has some educational segments in here. Like, with the original series has some educational segments. Like Yakko's naming the country song. So there is some educational segments in here, even though it's downplayed a bit. And I have to say that probably my favorite segment from this series is actually the Pinky and the Brain segments. Like, when I watched the original series, while I did like Pinky and the Brain, it wasn't like my favorite segment of the original series, even though it was one of the most popular segments of the original series. But with this reboot, I actually like Pinky and the Brain better here because there's a lot more focus on Pinky and the Brain's relationship here, and I really like the stories being told with Pinky and the Brain. So I think this reboot did a fantastic job of retelling Pinky and the Brain's story and making them even more entertaining to this day. Another thing that was really good about this reboot was that they brought back all the original voice actors from the original series. Like, you have Rob Paulsen voicing Yakko again, you have Jess Harnett voicing Wakko again, and you have Tress McNally voicing Dot again. So you have all those voice actors coming back and reprising their roles, which is rare to see because I rarely seen a reboot when they get the original voice actors to voice the characters they voiced years ago. And the fact that this series actually had the original voice actors voicing these characters again really brought back a lot of nostalgic memories for me when I was watching the original series. Now, if there was an issue that I had with this reboot series, it was the fact that they didn't have characters like Slappy Squirrel or Mindy Buttons or the Good Feathers in it. Like, there was an episode that kind of explained what happened to them, but still, I wanted to see that variety sketch back with this reboot. That's what I really enjoyed about the original series, was that they had this variety sketch and feature all these different characters. And I'm hoping that if this show does get a second season, maybe we see more of these characters come in the second season, hopefully, because I feel like even though this reboot does a good job of respecting the original source material, I still feel like we need more of these characters from the original series to make a comeback in this reboot series. Also, and this isn't really an issue for me personally, but this show does have a lot of political commentary and a lot of political humor. So if you don't like that type of humor, or you don't like political commentary in this show, then this show has a lot of it, and it might be troublesome to some people. Like I mentioned before, in the original series, it also had a lot of political commentary. So this series is just emulating that. And again, I didn't have much of a problem with how this series emulated the political commentary that was going on in the original series. But again, if you don't like that type of humor, then you might want to tread with this reboot with caution. But overall, I really enjoyed the reboot of Animaniacs. I think it's one of the few reboots that's actually done right. Like, it actually gave respect to the original source material. It actually understood what the original series was all about. And I like the fact that Yakko, Wacko, and Dot even make fun of the concept about reboots within this series, as they know that this reboot's just done to show money. So I like how they make fun of themselves. But again, this is a really great reboot that was actually done right, and I highly recommend this reboot if you like the original Animaniacs series. So that's my thoughts on the Animaniacs reboot so far, and tell me in the comments down below, have you seen the new Animaniacs reboot? And if you have, did you like the show? Did you hate the show? Do you think it's as good as the original series? And what were some of your favorite animated reboots that were done right? Please feel free to tell me in the comments down below. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rowdy's Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, like this video? Then please feel free to hit that like button. And also, hit that subscribe button for more animation content from this channel. And now, roll the credits please.